we have possibly reached the final full decade of internal combustion engines, a period of significance in future history books, momentarily on the cusp of a tipping point. Mainstream passenger vehicle makers are increasingly turning to electric propulsion. Many of us, however, desire to buy an exotic supercar or hypercar in the future, and that is what we will be discussing today. When will exotic manufacturers create EVs in the same manner as major manufacturers? 3/4 of Americans think that EVs are not ready for prime time, and that is just among daily drivers. Confidence in high-performance exotic EVs is even lower. To comprehend the obstacles posed by the conversion of supercars to electric, we must investigate why people purchase them in the first place. For many, driving is about the thrill and all the senses that accompany it. Pagani, for instance, has stated that driverless technology will never be considered for its hypercars. Customers are purchasing these vehicles as second, third, fourth, etc. vehicles. The owners of these automobiles do not use them on a daily basis. They are reserved for weekend enjoyment. The owners drive them because they enjoy driving. Ferrari concurs. Engine noise is an integral aspect of the brand's emotional offering, while Porsche has begun to address this issue with its electric sport sound, an acoustic signal that falls somewhere between the familiar spaceship-like sound and a traditional 6-cylinder boxer engine. Nothing rivals the sound of numerous cylinders operating in perfect harmony. Other firms also employ sound engineers tasked with creating the ideal sound to complement the vehicle's attributes. But there is a great deal more to it than the emotions of the drivers. Creating an electric hypercar would be comparable to creating a gasoline-powered smartphone. It just does not function. While Tesla and others have met and surpassed milestones, range remains a significant issue for many EV drivers. An issue that is also impacted by the outside temperature, the climate control settings, and the driver's behavior. And it is just these idiosyncrasies that concern the exotics. A vehicle of this caliber should be designed for enthusiastic driving. Yes, the instantaneous torque and astounding acceleration of any EV or hypercar might be alarming, but the battery loss is the most frightening aspect. McLaren stated in a statement regarding the viability of an electric McLaren that present battery technology is insufficiently advanced. Driving at high performance requires a stunning amount of energy, leaving drivers with the challenge of charging the car, which for many owners takes hours. Regardless, let us presume that manufacturers are well on their way to developing electric hypercars, which, by the way, is somewhat accurate. The car industry has been hammered so hard by the coronavirus outbreak that the financial ramifications have moved attention away from this futuristic aim and toward surviving and riding out this massive wave. At the height of the epidemic in 2020, 7.5 million fewer cars were on the roads, according to one report. Only 10% of European, Middle Eastern, and African manufacturers have not ceased operations. Manufacturers have observed that it is nearly hard to convert any model from internal combustion to electric vehicle, EV. The precise packaging of the batteries, which can weigh up to a half-ton, must be considered in the initial design, which is why electric powertrains are only being introduced in brand new models or entirely redesigned generation updates, with the average car lasting 5 to 7 years before a generation update. It is easy to understand why things do not happen overnight. We have discussed why not, so I do not believe it is necessary to discuss why. We are all aware of the benefits of electric automobiles, including their engaging driving characteristics and ability to reduce our dependency on fossil fuels. But let us get to the point. Will electric exotic, super, or hypercars ever be produced? Let us study the ambitions of each exotic brand, beginning with Ferrari. LaFerrari, a hybrid producing about 1,000 horsepower, has made the Italian icon famous. However, that was only a test. What follows is even better. Its SF90 Stradale is equipped with a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8, a pair of electric motors on each of the front axles, and an additional electric motor between the engine and the transmission. The plug-in is capable of a 0 to 62 time of 2.5 seconds. Step by step, and Maranello has not yet ruled out an electric powertrain. The business's CEO does not foresee a totally electric future for the company. Nonetheless, designs have already been leaked depicting a quad-motor four-wheel drive system for a two-seater EV that could be released in the second part of this decade. In keeping with the Italian motive, Lamborghini has appeared on the walls of numerous children's bedrooms, but I bet none of them were electrically powered. Similar to Ferrari, the Scion Idea is a test vehicle, in this case a mild hybrid with a modest 34 horsepower electric boost. However, a 2025 release date has been planned for a four-door vehicle based roughly on a 2008 concept vehicle. It will resemble the Porsche Taycan and Audi e-tron GT, which is not surprising given that it is owned by both businesses. Initially, it was unclear whether the concept would be front or mid-mounted, but in a not-so-surprising turn of events, an electric drivetrain is being considered. On its next electric vehicle, Lamborghini will collaborate with MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Pagani has also revealed that an electric vehicle is in development, with a crew of 20 already assigned to the project. The eccentric Italian automaker has also devised a remedy for the absence of engine noise. We are working on it, and we are quite confident, we are told. Maserati, the fourth and final Italian manufacturer of dream cars, is already moving in the right path. Its mid-size sedan, the Ghibli, is already available with a hybrid drivetrain, but completely electric vehicles will be available as early as this year. Gran Turismo and Gran Cabrio will be the first vehicles touched by the company's electric division, according to a news announcement on the company's website. In the subsequent couple of years, a brand new crossover, the Grecale, will be added to the range, along with an electric version of the MC20, Levante, and Quattroporte. When we leave Italy, we lose a little bit of lucidity. In neighboring Germany, the Volkswagen Group owns more enterprises than you may expect. Not only Audi, Skoda, and Seat reside beneath the enormous umbrella. Once renowned for breaking the top speed record, Bugatti is reportedly undergoing modifications. The corporation recently revealed that the brand will be moved to VW-owned Porsche, where a joint venture with Rimac will be negotiated. Currently, Porsche owns around a fourth of the Croatian brand. Bentley is experimenting with electric propulsion as well. Following the introduction of a hybridized Bentayga SAV, corporate executives intend to focus on an electric vehicle. This high-riding sedan will likely replace or coexist with the Flying Spur, and it would not be surprising if it shared components with the Taycan and e-tron GT from its sibling firms. In its highest configuration, the Taycan can generate 760 horsepower. Porsche is sole electric vehicle. The brand has hybridization experience with the Panamera and Cayenne, and there are already rumors of an electric Macan entering the lineup soon. In the next 5 years, Porsche anticipates 30 to 40% of its sales vehicles to be electric vehicles. Over the English Channel and into the United Kingdom, McLaren has already begun testing a pure EV. We do not know much about an impending vehicle, but the powertrains are being tested and the company's first hybrid will be teased as early as this year. By 2022, it is anticipated that 50% of all McLarens will be hybrids of some kind. However, not everything is good news and promised dates. A significant portion of the electrification process for the exotic is now uncertain. Do you recall Aston Martin's Signet? The introduction of a modified Toyota IQ to assist the brand meet European emissions requirements. It was supposed to be an EV as early as 2013, just like the Rapide, but the plug was pulled at the last minute. Today, we are informed that the Lagonda will be electrified by 2025. But this has yet to be verified. Mercedes currently holds a 20% ownership in the brand, and its competence in the EV category, which includes a wide range of electric, plug-in, and mild hybrid vehicles, increases the likelihood of this happening. Swedish Koenigsegg is likewise somewhat ambiguous on the subject. The company's lineup already includes 2 hybrid vehicles, the twin-turbo 5.0-liter V8 Regera and the 2.0-liter 3-cylinder Gemera with 3 electric motors and a combined 1,700 horsepower. Despite this, the business anticipates a battery cell shortage in our all-electric future and is therefore wary to rely on this new power source. Due to the electric revolution, battery producers and manufacturers would require up to 18 times more lithium and 5 times more cobalt by 2030. the deadline set by several nations and states for a decrease in global emissions. 50 times more lithium and 15 times more cobalt by 2050 demonstrate the underlying industry strain. Doom and gloom it is not. With the debut of its first vehicle, one automaker in particular is eager to demonstrate the power of electric vehicles. Pininfarina, designer of numerous Ferraris, most recently the F12 Berlinetta, has introduced its very own electric vehicle. The Battista borrows technology from Rimac and features 1,900 horsepower, 2,300 Newton-meters of torque, a 0 to 62 time of less than 2 seconds, a 0 to 186 time of less than 12 seconds, and a top speed of 217 miles per hour. Only 150 EVs will be produced for 2021 delivery, but Pininfarina wants to introduce 3 more EVs over the next 3 years. As of the beginning of the next decade, bans are in place for gasoline and diesel-powered vehicles, but there is nothing to say that these will not be altered to allow the continuation of certain gas guzzlers, allowing exotics to continue with the sound of a V8 and a hefty tax penalty. In all honesty, who knows? Therefore, the future is unpredictable. Many exotics are hesitant to spend extensively in the electric sector until the outcomes of the tests and experiments are known. While 2025 appears to be a deadline to the majority, it is possible that this date will be extended. The brands highlighted today share a common trait, a heritage based on driver engagement and petrol power. How do you feel about the electrification of their vehicles from both an economic, environmental, and a purely pleasurable standpoint?